Hi everybody, welcome back to Miss Hubbard's weekly music lessons. Let's start with our hello song. It's time for music class. It's time for music class. We're gonna sing la la la. We're gonna play. We're gonna move and groove and have some fun today. It's time for music class. It's time for music class. So now it's time to get into our warm-up for this week. It is called There Was a Crocodile. So what we're going to sing throughout the whole song, but we're going to drop each animal as we go into it, as we sing along, but continuing to still do the actions. So you must be paying attention and using your memory. So our first action will be like this, and it's going to sound like this. So just follow along, sing along with me. Here we go. There was a crocodile and orangutan, a flying eagle and a silvery fish, a bunny, a beaver, a silly elephant. Da, 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 da. Now that we have the song in our head, now let's go ahead and sing along while dropping each animal, but keeping our actions and our memory on track. Here we go. There was a crocodile and orangutan, a flying eagle and a silvery fish, a bunny, a beaver, a silly elephant. Da 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 da. There was a and a orangutan, a flying eagle and a silvery fish, a bunny, a beaver, a silly elephant. Da 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 da. There was a and a flying eagle and a silvery fish, a bunny, a beaver, a silly elephant. Da 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 da. There was a and a silvery fish, a bunny, a beaver, a silly elephant. Da 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 da. There was a and and a bunny, a beaver, a silly elephant. Da 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 da. There was a and and a beaver and a silly elephant. Da 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 da. There was a and and boom, a beaver, a silly elephant. Da 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 da. There was a and 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 a silly elephant. Da 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 da. There was a and and there was a crocodile. Nice job. Good job. Good job keeping along and singing our song. Now it's time to get into our activity for this week. What we're doing today is kind of a musical hangman. What we're going to do is I will give you X amount of letters on our treble clef staff, and you're going to see what words we're spelling out for the day. So let's review our treble clef really quick. If you remember from a few weeks ago, our sentence, we had, what was it? For our lines, every good boy does fine. So our letters for our lines, E, G, B, D, F. That's for our treble clef lines. Now for our spaces, what was this? Our F, A, C, E, our face. So remember those. Keep those in mind. Our sentence, every good boy does fine. And for our spaces, F, A, C, E, our face. Cool. Now let's get into our game. We're going to play a game sort of like musical hangman, where you're going to guess the notes I have on our treble clef and see what word we have in front of us today. So what is our first set of notes here? Right away, I want you to always go back to our sentence. So our first letter and our first note on this treble clef is the third line. So what's our sentence? Every good boy does fine. So every good boy. So B is our first letter. Let's continue on. Let's go back to our spaces now. F-A-C-E, our second space. What is that? F-A. We got A. So first we have B-A. Our next note is on the second line. Every good, it's going to be G. So far we've got B-A-G. What is our next note? It's on the same line, so I'm going to go ahead and write G again. Our next one, we've got F-A. A. Baga. What is our next note? We already seen it before. It's right here. It's G again. And our last note, we have right here, E. We've got E there and an E there. The line connecting them showing it's the same note, just on a different octave. Every good boy does fine, and F-A-C-E, that is on the first line and the last space, both being E. Our word is baggage. Nice. B-A-G-G-A-G-E. Nice job. Let's go into our next set of words. What is this one? We've got, for our first note, we've seen it before, the B. It's on the third line. So we're going to go every good boy. We're correct. B. Now, this shows that it's the same note right there. What's our sentence? Every good boy does fine. Starts with an E. What's our spaces? F-A-C-E. E. We got E here on the first line and E on the last space. I'm going to put an E right there. Nice job. Next one. What's our second space? Think of our name of our spaces. F-A. We got B. E. A. What would be our last note? What do you think the word is? What's our fourth line right here? What do you think it is? Every good boy does. The word is bead. Nice job. Can we add to this? I'm going to add 2 more notes, and you can tell me what the word might be. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see what this could be. I'm going to add it, and you tell me. Now what is it? I added what? I added something that looks familiar. It's the same as the second note. It's on the E line and the E space. I'm going to put an E. And our last but not least, we just did it before. It's right before that. A D. B did. Nice. For our next word, it looks like we only have 3 letters, right? 1, 2, 3. But what are they? Our first one, what was that one? Does it look familiar? Every good boy. We know that one. Our next one, we know that the note is the same on this line and on that space. So what is it? Let's do our line. Every good boy does fine. Every and F-A-C-E. Always check yourself before you wreck yourself. Right? So our next one, we have our fourth line right there. What was that? What's our sentence? What's our word? We have B-E. What could it be? It's the fourth line. Every good boy does. Bed. Go sleep. Good job. So for our next word, we have a funny contraption here. We already know the first note. We've seen it before. What is it? Every good boy. B for boy. Every good boy does fine. We know that. So what is our next 2 right here? They look the same. They're connected, so they must be the same note, but on a different octave. What's our sentence? For our lines? Every good boy does. That's right. So we're going to add an E right there. And that's on the last space. First line, E. Got it. Same thing next to it. We're going to make that a B. Oh, a B. Ooh. What's our last one, though? And all it is up a half step, and it's the first space and the last line. What would that be? What's our thing called? Face, F-A-C-E, and then our lines names. Every good boy does fine. I'm going to put F for beef. That's right, some beef for your dinner. So for our next set of words, for this one, we only have 3 spaces, 3 letters. And we know one of them is the same on both a line and a space. Now, we're seeing a pattern, right? What was our first one? Every good boy. B is our first letter. What's our next one? We know it's the same as this line and that space. I'm going to say E. Seen it before, but now this one's different. What would this be? What's our sentence? Every good. G for beg. Our word is beg. Like a puppy. Now, can I change this one? We're going to add 2 more spaces. And you're going to tell me what that is. Oh, 3 more spaces. Here we go. 3 more spaces. We're going to see. You tell me what it is. Dun, dun, dun. And right here. Now what is our word? We know it's the right here on the same line as this. Our word before was beg. We're going to add a G. It's another G. And it's the same as this letter, E. And last but not least, our 4th line. Every good boy does. Our new word is begged. Begged. Now, for our last word of the day, we start in a new spot than we did before. We're no longer starting on the B line, but now we're starting on the 3rd space, which if we think of our word, F-A-C, our first letter is C. So, what could our word be? Our next note is on the 2nd space. What do we think that is? Remember again, F-A. Our first 2 notes are C and A. Nice. What could our word be? Our next note right here is on the 1st space and the last line. So we know that it's the same here and here, except an octave apart. Think of again, what's this? Our F for F-A-C-E, our face. We only need 1 more letter. What could it be? It's only a half step down. It's on the 1st line in the last space. E. Our word is cafe. Go get a nice cup of coffee. Well, good job, guys, for helping me figure out what words we were using today in our musical Hangman. Now, if you at home want to figure out other words that are on the treble clef, let us know. And you can maybe play the game with your friends and family and teach them all about the treble clef. Good job, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Now it's time to check our work. What were our words before? Our first word was baggage, if you remember. And it looked like this. We had B-A-G-G-A-G-E, baggage. It's a lot going on there. But we spelled it on our treble clef. Now what do we move into? Our next words were B-E-A-D, bead. And we added to that word, we added 2 more notes, 2 more letters for beaded, like a bracelet. Beads on a bracelet, a beaded bracelet. And our last word on this page, what was that? 3 letters right there. We had B-E-D for bed. And our last page for the day, what did we have for these words? Our other words were B-E-E-F for beef. Right here. Following into B-E-G for beg. And what did we do to extend that word? We added 2 more notes, 2 more letters, and made it begged. And our last word for the day was C-A-F-E for cafe. Well, guys, I had so much fun making music with you today, once again. And now it's time to say our goodbye song. Until next time. It's time to say goodbye. It's time to say goodbye. We got to sing, la la la. We got to play. We got to move and groove and have some fun